We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
Now I gotta talk, we all gotta be quiet. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kid stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
And now your host, Taking No Shorts podcast, Jay Grizzy.
Hey, yo, first of all, you got to make sure, hold on. Did I take everything off? I think I did. I know I did. First of all, by the time I finish this edit of the intro and I stop looking over there and look at y'all, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode, 93 of Taking No Shorts podcast. I'm your host, Jay Grizzy Green.
Exactly.
AKA Mr. Leave. No meat on the bone. At the time of this recording, or by the time this comes out, between May the 20th and May the 23rd of 2025. You see, I got sage in the air. Sage is in the air, ladies and gentlemen. Sage is in the air. We are giving flowers and shout outs to all the Tauruses in the building.
Exactly.
All May Tauruses in the building.
Exactly.
But Tauruses in general. Because like the Chiron said, this is birthday week or birthday week. Kicking it. I don't know how people, when you're a Gen Xer, a black Gen Xer like myself, you just happy to be, you just happy to be here, god darn it. You know, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Taking No Shorts podcast, episode 90. I got to look at the Chiron. So, episode 93. Yes, don't worry about the smoke over there. The studio is not going to burn. I'm just celebrating. I'm just celebrating life. Make sure you like, share, subscribe anywhere where you find your favorite podcast. Also, this can be found on my social media platforms, which is YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, or in Instagram at Taking No Shorts Pod and at Jay Grizzo. That's JayGrizzo. You dig? Boom. I decided to start recording impromptu whenever to not heavily be produced. If you all go back, you'll see me suited and booted on previous episodes. Y'all will see me doing the most, and then life happens and it humbles you and says, it ain't gotta be like that, bro. You can just be you. You don't have to put on some type of performer or whatever. You know, just kick it. Just kick it. And if motherfuckers fuck with you, they're gonna fuck with you. Period. End of story. You dig?
Exactly.
So that's why I hold on. Because people are wondering what's on the shirt. So because the shirt's behind the microphone. So the more in 2025, the more people I meet, the more I love my dog. And that's Obi. If anybody goes to the social medias, they'll know Obi. They'll get to see Obi flashing up there. But when I say my dog, it could be anybody, but humans are some son of a guns if you get what I'm talking about. So at the bottom, Chiron, what I'm going to be talking about in this podcast, it's impromptu, so I don't even know how long it's going to last. But I know one thing, and it's from the heart. I'm going to be talking about my New York mother and Knicks. You dig?
Exactly.
Not even pulling off, but doing Friday night on my birthday, May 16th. And the last time the Knicks won a championship was the playoffs of my birth. Okay, 1972. And if I was born in May of 1972, it was the playoffs and or the championship. Fast forward 22 years later, I'm living in Brooklyn, New York. I'm in juniors. I'm watching John Stark shoot us out of a championship against Houston. But nonetheless, in 94 is when I officially became a Knicks fan. Chilling in Brooklyn and Junior's Cheesecake, the same Junior's Cheesecake that guy that's on trial right now. And strangely enough, I'll put this story out here. It's not a story; it's just an anecdote. But in a lot of Jay-Z's lyrics, he talked about 550 State Street, and I think that was the place. It was on top of a building on the corner of Atlantic and State, where he was making his. That might be a plane going above. Unfortunately, where I live in VA, it's the planes come over. I don't live by the airport, but it's just a path that planes come over. So, why would I tell y'all I live by an airport? Anyway, that's because the smoke. That's because of the sage. But 550 or 560 State Street, and it wasn't until years later in the early 90s. I want to say it was 93 when 93 was when I went to New York during the first World Trade situation. I was dating somebody that was affiliated through the city, and I was just going up there on a regular, not for nothing illegal. And then years later, when I listened to the lyrics of Jay-Z, one of Jay-Z's lyrics, I was like, yo, State Street, I know. And then I put it together. I was like, oh shit. It's I don't know what the word is, just happenstance or the way you meet people. And that's not to say, because back in 93, Jay was probably, a Brooklyn cat doing everything that he could to be successful and to make music and to do all that. But we could have easily crossed paths. And the lesson of what I'm saying is, you never, you got to take advantage of what comes across you, and you got to be at the right place at the right time. I was in the wrong place because Jay-Z was on some other shit. Here I am doing a podcast 25 years later, 30 years later. At the crib, you did. So shout out to Jay-Z. But yeah, let's go Knicks, man. And that same year, 94, I saw us lose to the Pacers at juniors, right? And I'm sitting there like I'm pulling for, because the atmosphere was ripped. Like, God, I could not even tell you. Like, the atmosphere was like, first of all, the hate for the Indiana Pacers, and it's so strange that, things come around like it does, but in order for us to get to a championship, we got to go through the same team that plagued us in 94. But yeah, we got to go through we got to go through Indiana. We ain't got to go to Miami back in the 90s. The Heat was an issue with I'm not even going to say the players, but the Bulls, Jordan is not it. Like, we've always had hurdles, and I say we as Knicks fans, we understand. Like, we've always had those hurdles in our way, whether it was Reggie Miller, whether it was Michael Jordan, whether it was Pat Riley, not Pat Riley with the Knicks. What was he with? I don't even know if he was with the Heat back then. But Miami, Indiana, and the Bulls, like, we don't fuck with them for real. Like, I told somebody the other day, and my son to be specific, because he's a Pacer fan. I said, yo, as soon as the jump ball goes up, Cat need to smack the shit out of Turner. That cat that plays for, he just need to haul off on his ass at the tip, just smack him, take the flagrant 2, take a game suspension, just let him know we not playing.
Exactly.
We not playing.
Exactly.
I say we because in 94, I felt like I was a part of something. Fast forward to 95, we playing Houston, and fast forward a year. We get to Houston, and the atmosphere again was so thick in the city. I'm in Brooklyn in Sunset Park. I say, I didn't even tell the girl I was there. I was like, yo, I just bounced. And I think it was like a week before the Rangers was playing, and they won the Stanley Cup. I want to say it was a week of or the week after. It was so, but the Rangers was in the Stanley Cup, and the Knicks was playing to go to the finals in 95. I want to say it's the Pacers. It might have been the Bulls. I don't know. But
Talking about practice.
yeah, that's what I think about the Bulls. But either way, it was serious business. And I got up out of my apartment. I paid whatever the train, the subway fare was, took the N train all the way into the city, and I got off, and Madison Square was, for within a 4-block radius, was bananas. I mean, I'm telling you, it was crazy. And so there was this bar/restaurant that was packed to the gills, but they had clear glass, and the fans was just sitting outside Madison Square. No, that was the Rangers joint. I'm talking about the championship. The championship was juniors. The 95. Yeah, I'm fucking it all up. So I'm gonna edit that all out eventually when I go back through this shit. But needless to say, I was lit, and here we are, 30 years later, 25 years later. God damn it, the Knicks got to beat the Pacers, and Miles Turner is that dude's name. Looking all fugazi on walking down the aisle on one of the games this season. Like, no, bro, Cat, you got to bring it. His dad is a Villanova cat. We got a lot of Villanova cats. Shout out to Buddy Jackson.
Exactly.
Shout out to his son playing in the NFL. He's from VA, representing to the fullest.
Exactly.
Give all Villanova cats that's playing for the Knicks right now their flowers. Salute. Hey man, y'all go get it. It's a once in a lifetime thing. It's a once in a 50 some odd plus year thing. So let's go get it for the Knicks. Also, I wanted to talk about, and what I'm going to go ahead and just jump into in this podcast is, well, no, it's not even get into it. It's another thing. I told y'all it's my birthday. My birthday was Friday, May 16th. I was born May 16th. And it's been, I say that because you're supposed to celebrate your birthdays, but as you get up there, you start, and a lot of these youngins is not going to understand what the F I'm saying, right? They not going to get it. But hey, certain things you're going to appreciate. You might have seen a lot of shit in your life, so you say, yeah, you appreciate it. But hey, every day you wake up and your feet is touching solid ground, And that's who's to say if you're floating, because you might wake up and you could be floating on something else. Yeah, like I was all that smoke over that, But you gotta be grateful. You gotta be thankful. So a lot of people was giving me a lot of birthday wishes, and I understand like I'm supposed to like be like taking that all in, but at the end of the day, considering the last maybe 10 years of this life on this rock, around this one sun, around many universes, around whatever my creator made, it's perspective for me, man. It's so much perspective for me. And so I try to be as humble as I can and say thank you, because if you thought about me and said, hey, happy birthday to me, I'm going to say thank you. I appreciate it. But I'm just letting the world know, and I'm letting the internet and the universe and the AI and all that know. Like, I peep like what's really meaningful when you walking around and you get the time that you get. Because this is not promised. It is not. The last 10 years of my life has shown me this is not promised. And if there's anything I can do, especially because I raised 3 black men, is that I impress upon them that these days are not promised. And so you have to attempt, because you don't want to put too much pressure on them. You got to say, I just want you to attempt. If I see you attempting to make the most of the day, then I got your back. And that's all you can ask for. That's all I can ask for. As an unk, as a black man, as a black Gen X, as a black dad, that's all. And I say black because, and I didn't put that in the Chiron, but I'm going to talk about a little bit of RG3 tonight too, old bitch ass motherfucker.
Exactly.
But my birthday was Friday, May 16th, right? And I'm a black Gen X. I'm a Gen Xer. So I'm going to let y'all figure out wherever I land in that. But you see the bald head, you see a little. So one of the things that I noticed, and I saw a meme, and I wish I could have had it up. I didn't get it up, but if I describe it, because it was kind of trending, at least on my algorithm, it was a young brother who was out there saying where you fit in as a black man, because he was a black kid, a black young man, and he was like, if you was between this age and this age, you were YN, right? Shout out to Marcus J.
Exactly.
He hit me up. He was like, yo, what that YN be? I was like, oh, okay. You don't know that, but I'm going to tell you, my nigga. Like, but then he was like, YN, Unk, and I forgot the rest, because there's a lot in between. There's a lot in between. But because I'm Unk now, and I jumped on, shout out to Tay out there represent. Man, Tay, I'm so sorry. But I will tag you in the comments or tag you in the stream if I could get, because I ain't got TikTok on this other phone. So, but I was on this live the other day, and if you ever want an exotic French bully, y'all hit me up. I'm gonna have it in this stream for y'all. To my cousin, well, he's my nephew because he's married to my niece. So, and they out in Tennessee, and he's got beautiful, beautiful French bulldogs. But he was like, Unc is on the Unc jumped on the live, and I was just like, yeah, that's right. I'm Unc now. And the young boy was like, yo, if you between this age and this age, you this. And if you between this age and this age, you that. And if you between this age and this age, you this. And if you're between this age and this age, you that. And he was just categorizing a lot of stuff for black boy, because he was a young black man speaking on the internet in 2025. and he was just categorizing, like, and I had to take myself back. Like, if I was what would I mean, if the internet, if the social media and the internet thing was bubbling back in the late 80s, early 90s, what would I have been doing to say what we were? And back then, I would have said, if you was doing this, you was crackheads, drug dealers, and convict, baby daddy. It was a lot of negative connotations for me, just the way my life and the way I live. I'm not saying that that's the narrative or that's anything like that, but I'm just saying we have got a progression, guys, black men. We've got a progression here that we got going on that we need to keep. Not only, and I forget, 2008 with Barack Obama being elected, even though we know his heritage, but even still, we got a lot to be proud of in 2025 and then going forward under the circumstances, because there is nothing wrong with being called Unc in 2025.
Exactly.
Talking about practice, not a game, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice.
Thank you.
Not a game.
Yeah, y'all tripping, because Unc means that from a certain time to now, we have made it. We have. Okay, I paused it and I had to start it back over. I was trying to clip it because it's so important. It was one of the points I wanted to make. Like, if one of the things I learned over my birthday is that, hey, I'm still here under everything, under all the circumstances, under the crack era of the 80s, under the lock 'em up, throw away the key era in the 90s, under the going to war for oil in the 2000s, to Barack Obama giving us hope, and then going back. For every step we take 2 steps back, and then we're going where we at now. I done seen it from how Sheiky Baby said, from the A to the Z.
Exactly.
And if you don't know what Sheiky Baby is, I encourage you to look up the Iron Sheik. He tells you, the wrestler Iron Sheik. From the A to the Z, I done seen it. So my role, my job, and it was been passed down. So it's not just us as Gen Xers or Black Gen Xers. It was given to us from our forefathers, our ancestors, because I'll give you a great example. 1991 or 2, I'm at Virginia Commonwealth University. It's February, so it's second semester, and Black History Month. So it's got to be February. It's got to be February 91, February 92, because after 92, and the Black Union said Chuck D was coming to speak, right? And I remember Chuck D from Public Enemy. I saw Chuck D come to the Richmond City Hall to do a Stop the Violence movement back in like 88, 89. Here it is. I'm in college a couple years later. He's coming to speak at my college on Black History Month. And I was like, yeah, I'm definitely going. I don't know if Smurf will be the original 4 horsemen of VCU back in the day, early 90s. Remember this, but I went to that joint. And he was not on no rap tough guy shit, none of that shit. He was just like, yo, y'all need to pay attention. And I think like 92, I don't know when the LA riots hit, but that summer, shit went crazy. And I was like, damn, Chuck was on one. Chuck was 1,000% right. You know, might have been 80. No, it wasn't 89. It was 92 or 91. I don't know. Y'all can check me on it in the comments, but this is not live. That's why I do this. But my point is, I was conscious from the womb, and to get to this stage in life, it's my job to what other brothers have done along the lines is to get our guys, our men, our young men prepared and knowledgeable and conscious. And so that's why I feel like, there's nothing wrong with being Unc. Unc is gonna give you some shit that might give you some advice that might save your life. You know what I'm saying? He might not rock with whatever the fashion is at the time. Because my son told me one couple of weeks ago, he was like, I rocking some New Balance, right? And they look like Skechers because the sole is so thick. He was like, yo, my son is a millennial. He was like, yo, you got on some walkers.
Exactly.
I was like, hell yeah, because I walk, my nigga. Like, I gotta, that's the thing. Like, before your granddad did not walk, and that's probably would have killed him. So I walk, I learn. So I'm telling you, you're a millennial, you might want to invest in something that's comfortable for your feet. Your arches might fucking fall. You dig? So if I decide, if the good Lord called me home, I could say, hey, one thing I did right, Father, was I gave him some game. And that's all. I gave him some game. I say, go ahead and get you some shoes that's going to be comfortable. You dig?
Exactly.
Holy Jesus.
So you is not walking around like Dion, even though he plays sports, but Dion got like toes amputated and he walking around and you looking like the hunchback of Notre Dame. Like, you don't want to be that motherfucker. So get some shoes that fit.
Exactly.
Because
I'm a man. I'm 40.
And then some, goddamn it. So it's nothing wrong with being Unc. It's nothing. And so what I've seen in my algorithm is that the young cats, the YNs, the young ends, is kind of recognizing that. And because I raised 3 black men from millennials to Gen Zs, like they is recognizing like, yeah. And then I saw another one was like, yo, I bet you, I saw another meme or another reel on the internet or TikTok that was like, yo, I bet you, it was sad, but it was poignant at the same time. He was like, my dad is in my, one of the young guys was like, my daddy is in my life. The other young boy was like, I call cap on that. Like, I'm sorry to use the word cap if I'm too old to use the word cap, but he was like, nah, your daddy in your life. Your mama raised you. Ain't no daddy in your life. He was like, that's bullshit.
A bullshit?
My dad has been in my life and I'm gonna prove it to you. And he pulled out his phone and he was like, yeah, bet. Let's see who daddy pick up the phone first. If I had another producer here to help me produce the podcast, yeah, it'll show you. But he was just like, let's call each other's, let's call your dad. I call your dad, you call your dad. Let's see who dad pick up first. Now, for me, as a black Gen X dad,
Exactly.
I didn't need to see nothing else. My heart melted. My heart melted. Because back in the 80s, you could not, I mean, there's no besmirchment on like the black man at the time because the times were different. They had to grow up like a different time. So I couldn't dare play that game with none of my friends. My dad, I might have to go off camera just for a second, but nah, he not picking up. So I get it, and so that's why I have appreciation. So they both called their dads at the same time, and I'll tag it if I can find it. But when I post this, but the celebration
Exactly.
of those young black men saying, "Yeah, my dad picked up before you." Like that's a win. In 2025, we celebrating black dads. Like that's a win because we in there. And so the narrative of like the black man is not a father, or the black man is not a family man, or the black man is not a family values, or I don't even want to do the family values thing because they for like 30 years claim family values, and I call
bullshit
on that whole shit with Jimmy Swaggart, all that Christian right shit, like that family value shit. Y'all gonna eat an ass with that shit, y'all.
bullshit
Yeah.
bullshit.
Thank you, baby.
Bullshit.
Out of the mouths of babes, God damn it. So, because in the community, we here in 2025. We was there in the 80s. Y'all just wanted to paper over that shit and poo it, but we here. We daddies. We've been in our kids' lives. We've been rooting them on. We've been supporting our women. We've been supporting our kids. We had to go to court. People used to ask me like, "Yo, you on child support?" I'm like, "Fuck, how I look being on child support?" I told my son's mom, and like, "Yo, we not doing that. You can rest assured." Like they're going to the internet, and I'll get to it. The internet might come for me after this, like you a sucker or whatever. But that's some killer shit. Like I'm not a killer, but don't push me. Like you want to take care of yours. It's a responsibility. Even if it was a trickery, it doesn't matter. Okay. But that brings me to being that I'm a black, that brings me to this RG3. I saw some with Ryan Clark before I went live, and I'm gonna get to it, and then I'm gonna wrap up. RG3, there was a WNBA. WNBA game was played. Caitlin Clark against Angel Reese. Angel Reese committed a hard foul on Caitlin Clark. The foul was, I'm going to tell you my opinion, between May 20th and May 23rd, the foul was done to put down as a marker, or to let you, for everybody, it's to let you know, I'm here and I ain't scared of you. I'm the best. It was a competitive type of foul. Like, that's what Caitlin Clark did to her. That's how I say it. Like, now, it could be interpreted like Caitlin Clark hacked her to let her know, but I took it, and y'all can get at the comments and let me know. But I took it that Caitlin Clark fouled Angel Reese, and let me make sure I got it right. Yeah, WNBA. She fouled Angel Reese to let her know, just like Bill Laimbeer let Jordan know, not to compare, big swath of difference of skill or whatever. But there's no besmirchment on WNBA, but it's getting eyes on the WNBA. You did? Because I was on it. I was on it. And she fouled her like, nope, not today. You think you the one? I'm the one. Okay. Now, That's how a sports fan looks at it. Now, Ryan Clark, and what I would say, he hit it from the, why is RG3 commenting with his wife in the background sipping tea? Hey, y'all young people, y'all millennials, Gen Z. I don't know. I don't know. I hate to put it on that, but I'm just look. RG3 played ball 190 miles from here, training camp here. I ain't see that man not one place in this town, let alone, I don't know, but I'm just saying, all I'm saying is, and I commented on whatever the post I saw was, RG3 ain't doing shit. Because he was snapping back at Ryan Clark, a fellow Pittsburgh Steeler, you did.
Exactly.
He was clapping back at Ryan Clark because Ryan Clark said the reason why you was doing your podcast just like Grizzly doing his podcast, but you got your white wife, say that again with a speech impediment, white wife sipping coffee behind on the couch in your in the shot, nigga. In the shot, I know what it takes to do all of this. Is she in the shot? Hey, RG3, you a whole ass bitch. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And I'm gonna hashtag you and I'm gonna tag you and all and everything you got, but you a whole ass bitch. For your take. The way you gonna mask it as it's just sports, but it's the presentation. That's the angle I'm on. The presentation was you could present your podcast any kind of way, but why she got to be in a shot? That's just like Bill Belichick letting his side or his chick over in the corner. Why she got to even be there? Like nobody's spouse. Ryan Clark's spouse is nowhere on the set with him when he doing the pivot. Or he's on ESPN. His spouse is nowhere to be found. But you either wanted or allowed your spouse to be in the cut back here sipping Takin on some shit when you putting down a black woman. Man, you need to
bullshit.
Get the
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
Hey, RG3, you a whole hoe for that. And we not fucking with you, just like we not fucking with Diddy, just like we not fucking with niggas that don't take care of their kids, just like we not fucking with people that's not respecting their elders. There is certain stuff that a black man gonna stand on. I'm just gonna say that. I'm gonna leave it at that. And it's specific to us. You can try to come back, and I'm gonna tag your little goof ass. I'm gonna leave it at that. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up. It's Taurus season, or it was Taurus season. It's now Gemini season. So Geminis, come on in. Let me get y'all flowers now. Hold on. Yeah. Taurus season is over by the time this come out. Okay, so it's Gemini season, and y'all can get y'all thing on. But for the Taurus season, I'm gonna tell y'all, hey guys, I had a great birthday. I did exactly what I wanted to do. I'm living the life I want to live in congruence with the folks that had everything to do with me, and that's my mama and my family. So I appreciate it. I appreciate all the birthday wishes that everybody gave me on social media. I do not belittle it. I couldn't like respond. Like in the past, I'd be like, I would be responding to folks. You know what? I just acknowledging it right now, all in one. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm happy to be here, but I know here is here. and there's so much more than that we can do here, but there's so much more in this universe, guys, that I want to put out on the internet and the social media and in the airwaves and all that. So before I wrap up, I want everybody to know, go to my Facebook. My sister Chandra Green is going through some very, very heavy times. So make sure you contribute to her. The family is going to stay strong for you, sis. I love you. I'm in your corner. We're going to pull out, and I'm going to use a wrestling term, we're going to kick out early on this thing that we got to beat up against. All right. Make sure you like, share, subscribe anywhere where you find your favorite podcast. Also, this it's not a live stream, but it's being recorded. But you can catch my content at the following streaming channels: Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, all at Taking No Shorts Pod, and all at Jay Grizzy or at Jay Grizzo. I am your host, Jay Grizzy Green. Knicks and 6 over the Pacers. Mikey, my son, my firstborn, I love you, but y'all going down, son. And I'm out.
We talking about practice. Not a game. We talking about practice.
Now I gotta talk, we all gotta be quiet. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, gift stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
And now your host, Taking No Shorts Podcast, Jay Grizzy.